What's up, everybody? It's the one-man drywall army. Today's video is going to be about how to bid drywall. So how do you bid drywall? Well, there's a lot of things that I keep in mind when I'm bidding drywall, and today's video I'm going to do my best to just show you some of the things that I do to help me not spend a great amount of time into bidding these jobs. Because ultimately, one of the worst things you could do is bid a job and not get it. Spend a bunch of time on it and not get it. And so the key is to kick out the bid super quick. If you can, but kick them out super quick with amazing accuracy. The way that I bid jobs, basically, what I do is I use well, most people in drywall, we use the square footage ruler, okay? Now the square foot ruler, I use this strategy in two different ways, right off the bat. One example of the square foot ruler that I use in bidding drywall work, especially in residential homes, it works really well in residential homes. So we're going to use some simple math. Let's say you got yourself a house that's 1,000 square feet, okay? So I have developed a little system that seems to work out pretty good, and I've validated its effectiveness. So we got 1,000 square foot house, for instance, okay? We'll just we'll put some rooms in here. You know, we'll do some things like that, okay? So you got 1,000 square foot. Now the 1,000 square foot, one of the strategies that I use is 1,000 square foot, the times 3 approach. So you may ask, what is the times 3 approach? Well, the times 3 approach is pretty much applicable to units that have 8-foot walls or less. And so when using the 3 times rule, I'm timesing 1,000 square foot times 3 equals 3,000 square feet of board space. The 3 times rule is applying to board space. And so, yes, you are going to get some variations if you take the time and measure every wall and do all that. If you do that, the problem with going to every job and measuring every job out room by room, wall by wall, is this. And this is the reason why I rarely do it, but I do it. And I'll explain a little later when and why I do it. But let's just say you go into a house and you measure every one and you don't get the job. Well, then that's a lot of wasted time. And for me, time is money. So I've developed this 3 times rule. I'm probably not the only one that does it because I believe somebody taught that to me. However, the 3 times rule. And so let's just say now we got 1,000 times 3, 3,000 square foot. And let's just say you're going to spray on some texture. So in that unit, because I charge, let's say $250 is what I charge, $250 square foot to spray some orange peel texture, okay? So I take 3,000 square feet times 2.5 per square foot, and I come up with 6,000, 7,500. So that's what it's going to cost. That's going to include your material. That's going to include your labor. On 1,000 square foot home, it's going to cost $7,500 to do that home in spray texture. Now let's just say that you're going to do smooth. So that number is going to change because you can't do smooth and it pan out for you at $2.50 a square foot. You could if you want, but I don't. So what I use is the $3 a square foot. So now this job is going to cost $9,000. Okay, so some of you guys may say, well, that's probably not a great way to do to estimate jobs is to use the 3 times rule. But and I know it's not the most perfect way, but I would say at least 15 to 20 times I have used the 3 times rule and gone out and measured the job just to verify that the 3 times rule approach is really a good way to do business. Because yeah, that would be a bummer to use the 3 times rule and then you especially if you did it on the blind. But to use the 3 times rule and then find out, hey man, you should have went 4 times, and that could really hurt. So let me just solidify to you guys that I've gone out on jobs and I have measured up jobs after using the 3 times rule, and lo and behold, I've been within 100 square feet of the 3 times rule. It doesn't always work out that way. That's why I think it's really important that if you're going out there, you're bidding jobs, to make sure that you look at the job before you go ahead and firm up on your price. And that's the way that I do business. Because, and once again, you can have the numbers perfect. You can have, let's get back to that $9,000 job that had 3,000 square feet, okay, of board, square feet of board. Well, let's just say that you got the 3,000 square feet down to a science. The 3 times rule worked out perfect, okay, but you get there and it's cut up. You've got so much corner bead. You've just got a lot of weird stuff that is just not wide open. So in that situation, using the 3 times rule is probably not going to work. Not only can you use the three times rule and then go to the job and look at it just to verify that the 3 times rule actually works. Another way that I bid drywall is that when I go in there and I look at the job, okay, and I say, you know what, this is really, really hard to kind of put a finger on it, but in my head I can say, hey, look, so the square foot method won't work, but what will work, or what makes more sense into bidding this job, is to just say, hey, look, I can see that this is going to take a day, that's going to take a day, that's going to take a... The whole job is going to take, let's say, 6 days. And so, as a person that's bidding drywall, you have to come to some sort of dollar amount of what you feel your time is worth. And so I would say, hey, look, let's just say my time is worth $1,000 a day. I think the job is going to be a 6-day job. Well, you're not going to find a lot of clients out there, although there are some out there, and I've met a handful over the course of my career that is okay with you making $1,000 for the day. However, I would suggest that if it's your first time dealing with somebody and you plan on bidding the job at $1,000 a day, they're probably not going to take you very seriously, or they may just feel that you're not affordable. So what I like to do is I have a minimum as a licensed contractor. I've been licensed for 10 years, bidding jobs from my business for 10 years. And so I kind of have got a pretty decent idea of what people think you're worth. And keep this in mind, what people think you're worth and what you feel you're worth are two different things. So you gotta really know that. You gotta know what you're worth. And so I generally have about a $600 to $700 minimum. If there's not at least $600 for my full day's worth of time, I won't even touch it, because to me it seems like a waste of time. Because as a licensed contractor, if you're licensed, we think of things like, liability, bond, insurance. the cost of doing business. Okay, so there you have it. There are just a few pointers on some do's and don'ts, some pitfalls to look out for. But ultimately, at the end of the day, if you do good work, you show up every day, you answer your phone, you're always going to be busy, because there are a lot of people that just don't use the lowest guy in town. So the lowest guy in town, he's no longer an issue. I don't worry about that guy, because hey, that guy has created a lot of work for me in the past. And so how can you be mad at somebody that has given you work? So if you're new to bidding work, I wish you the best of luck. You're going to make some mistakes. I've made a ton of mistakes over the course of my career. I don't regret any of them, but making mistakes hurt, and pain is the greatest motivator. When you have to go through something, I can guarantee you'll come out on the other side a better man. And with that being said, I really appreciate anybody and everybody that has been watching my videos, that's been supporting me as a human being. I just got to let you know that wholeheartedly, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys on the next video, okay? If there's something that you guys would like to see or hear me, hear back about me that's going to be drywall related, or even metal stud framing related, by all means, please mention them in the comments, and I will do my best to help you out with that. And with that being said, you guys have a great day.